The Teclast F6 Pro is a 13.3-inch convertible notebook with an Intel Core M3 processor, a Full HD display, a metal body and a built-in fingerprint sensor. Even though it has a lot to offer, this 2-in-1 from China is quite affordable at under $500. How good can a convertible like this be? I've had it for over 3 months now, and this is my Teclast F6 Pro review. As I said, the Teclast F6 Pro is a convertible from China, and usually you won't be able to buy it from your local retailer. However, it is very easy to import from shops like GearBest, and they are the ones who sent me this review unit. Let's start this Teclast F6 Pro review with the design and build quality. It is a convertible, which means that you can rotate the screen to convert the notebook into a tablet. Even though it is quite affordable, the Teclast F6 Pro does not feel cheap at all. In fact, it features a full metal body which feels solid and well built. The hinge is very smooth too. One of the few downsides is the power button, which is made out of plastic and does not feel as nice. Oh, and the notebook does not have a nice handle to open it up. Actually, it is quite hard to open. We're getting a lot of ports here. On the left side we get a USB Type-C port, an HDMI out and a big USB 3.0 port. On the right side there's a power button, a full-size USB 3.0 port and a microSD card reader and a headphone jack. There's a port for the power plug as well, however you can just use the Type-C port too. All the way on the bottom we get a little door to change the built-in SSD. You can change it very easily and put in a faster one or just one with a higher capacity. I don't have an extra SSD around, but according to a couple of forum reports it works fine. The Teclast F6 Pro has a standard chiclet style keyboard, which actually is quite nice. I wrote tons of articles with it and didn't have any issues at all. It is not the best keyboard out there, but it does its job just fine. The only complaint here is that the up and down arrow keys are squished together a bit. As is the case with most notebooks, there is a trackpad underneath the keyboard. It is a precision touchpad and it works great. However, it is a bit small and could be bigger. On the upper left side of the trackpad is a built-in fingerprint sensor, so you can use your finger to unlock the notebook using Windows Hello. That works fast and is very precise. I never had to touch it twice. Above the keyboard we get 2 speakers, and they are not that good. As is the case with most cheaper notebooks and tablets, it does not get that loud and the sound is kind of flat. There's not a real bass either. The quality is fine for watching some YouTube, but if you want to enjoy a movie or listen to music, you should use external speakers. The 2-megapixel camera above the screen is disappointing too. It records HD videos, but the quality is not great at all. I recorded an example in a popular coffee shop chain with decent light, and pictures and the video look very soft. Yes, I guess it's kind of acceptable for some video chats using Skype, but the quality is really not that great. The Teclast F6 Pro features a 13.3-inch display with a Full HD resolution of 1920 by 1080. It is an IPS panel with wide viewing angles and nice colors. And considering the price, it is bright enough to use in a well-lit room or outside in the shadows. However, it is too dark to use in direct sunlight. It is a bit disappointing that the touchscreen is not laminated. There is an air gap between the IPS panel and the touchscreen. Because of that, it is easy to see reflections. Actually, we see this a lot with cheaper notebooks, well, and even the 2018 iPad. As I said, it is a touchscreen, and if you rotate the screen you can use it like any other Windows tablet. The touchscreen works great and I didn't have any issues at all with it. It is a nice touchscreen. If you want, you can get the Teclast F6 Pro with an active pen as well. I don't have the stylus, so I didn't try it. But because the screen is not laminated, I wouldn't get this convertible if you really want to use a pen. You just won't be able to draw as precisely as on a Surface Pro or something similar. Inside the Teclast F6 Pro sits an Intel Core M3 7th generation processor. It is a dual-core chip with both cores clocked at 1 to 2.6 GHz. In addition to that, we get quite a lot of RAM with 8GB and a 128GB SSD. The performance of the Core M3 is good enough for almost everything. It is quite powerful. One reason are the 8GB of RAM too. Most Windows tablets with the Core M3 are shipped with 4GB only. I use the F6 Pro a lot for office work and it handles Microsoft Word, Google Chrome and YouTube just fine. Multitasking is very decent as well, and I even used it to edit Full HD videos and pictures in Photoshop. The performance is good enough for that, at least if you don't have to handle huge files with complex layers. The performance is noticeably better than what you get with a typical Apollo Lake device like the Acer Switch 3 for example, that costs about the same. In fact, I think the performance is great for its price. For about the same you can also get a Lenovo Yoga 330 with a lower resolution screen and a weaker processor. But obviously the Core M3 is not the fastest chipset either. As you can see in my benchmark comparison, Windows tablets like the Microsoft Surface Pro or Lenovo Mix 520 with the current Intel Core i5 chip are much faster. However, they cost at least twice as much. The Teclast F6 Pro is not meant to be a gaming notebook. It is passively cooled and can't hold the 2.6 GHz and turbo boost very long. That is normal for the chipset, it is more meant for office work. But I did try a couple of games on here. Games like Asphalt Extreme and Cuphead run great, but they run on lower end devices too. I also played Fortnite and it does run at lowest graphics settings. In fact, it is playable with about 20 to 40 frames per second, which varies a bit. However, the graphics look very bad. And I noticed some occasional lagging, and that is deadly in Fortnite. Well, and as I said, the graphics look bad at lower settings. By the way, the 2-in-1 can get quite hot on the bottom under heavy load. As I mentioned, it is a passively cooled device, so there are no active fans at all. And if you need a lot of performance, the heat must go somewhere, and it is transferred to the metal body. That's totally normal, and it should be like that. It does not get terribly hot either. Let's take a look at the battery life. In my standard battery test, the Teclast F6 Pro got a runtime of 8.25 hours. As you can see in my battery comparison chart, that is quite a solid result. For my battery test, I'm always looping an HD video at 50% brightness and activated Wi-Fi. Well, that's my standard battery test, but during my everyday use the battery life wasn't that great. When I'm working in Microsoft Word and Google Chrome at maximum brightness, it loses between 20 and 25% per hour. I worked a lot like this and never got an active use of over 4 hours, so it probably won't last you a whole working day. Alright, is the Teclast F6 Pro a good 2-in-1 convertible? Considering its price, the performance is very good and the 13.3-inch display looks nice. I also like that we're getting a full metal body and a fingerprint sensor. Oh, and we can change the SSD easily. However, it is disappointing that the screen is not laminated and the battery life could be better. Overall, I think the Teclast F6 Pro is a great convertible for its price, especially thanks to its performance. Similar priced tablets and convertibles from more famous brands usually offer an Intel Apollo Lake or Gemini Lake processor only, and they are noticeably weaker. So yes, I can recommend the Teclast F6 Pro. As I said, you probably have to import it from China. That is surprisingly easy, but I don't expect you get any real warranties like you might be used to if you buy it in your own country. That's something you should be aware of. Alright, that's my review of the Teclast F6 Pro. I'm NJ from mynexttablet.com. Thanks for watching.